Welcome to It Is What It Is, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Shaw Marie. Hopefully everybody's had a good week. Week. But I knew I was gonna upload an episode on Friday, but then I lost my voice. So I didn't. But it's back. And then I was like, maybe I'll do on Saturday. And then instead I made a YouTube video with my daughter about taking our guinea pig to the groomer. So fun. That's on the YouTube channel too, if you guys want to check that out. She's decided that she wants to do her own YouTube channel. So I'm going to let her. We'll just see what happens. I'm not going to make a big deal about it, just fun. She's going to have fun. I'll upload it. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we did that instead. And now it's Sunday. Well, nope, Sunday's over. It's now Monday morning. And I'm on my lunch. And I wanted to really do an episode. So we're going to do the Menendez brothers. And people are probably going to yell at me because they're going to say, you sound white when you say their name. I don't know why everything has to be about race, but it's because I am white. But anyway, someone said that in one of my videos. They were like, oh my God, I can't stand this girl. She sounds so white. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know how to fix that part. So if you don't know who the Menendez brothers are, Erik and Lyle, I'm going to tell you about them and what they did. So they are still alive. Lyle is 52 and Erik is 50. And they are both incarcerated together now in California at the Richard Donovan Correctional Facility in the same housing unit. And as everything, and that happened in 2018, as long as they participated in the groups and everything that they still do, then they can house up together, according to an article I read from 2018. Lyle has been married and divorced and then married again. Prison didn't stop him. And Erik himself is still married. And mom and dad were Jose and Kitty Menendez. And the boys are doing life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, I'll tell you what happened. And if for all the people who are going to be like, oh, she sounds like she's reading Wikipedia, because I did. But I'm not going to talk to you from Wikipedia. I'm going to give you the lowdown, and then I watched the 2 documentaries on them from both Lyle's perspective and then from Erik. It's not from their perspective. It's just they tell like little inside clips. Anywhozer. So in August of 1989 on the 20th, mom and dad are at home in their big, huge Beverly Hills mansion. Dad's from Cuba originally, okay? He came from nothing. He came over here with the change in his pockets, and he became like a millionaire, maybe even billionaire. I don't know. Dude was really rich. Super, super rich. He met Kitty. They fell in love. He takes Kitty to the limelight. And then they have the boys. Kitty wanted to originally be an actress. And then when the boys came, Jose was like, yeah, no. You must take care of the children's. And so her dreams are kind of squashed. Now, her family, I will say this just to be fair, her family believes that she is a saint of all saints, some of her family. And that's fine. Totally fine. But I will say, before we get any further into this, just so you don't have to listen to me go on about it, I am on the boys' side. I'll explain what that means later on, but just know that that's where I stand. So I believe what the boys have said, in both in court and still many moon later when doing the TV. Anyway, so mom and dad are on the couch, and then Lyle and Erik go in the den. I guess it's like another living room, from what I understand, but I'm not 100% sure on that. And they had shotguns. They shot, oh my, Jose was shot in the back of the head, and it was such a big hole that when the coroner picked him up, his brain fell out of the hole in his head. Kitty had fallen asleep on the couch. She was awakened. She stood up and was shot in the leg and fell onto the floor. She was shot several times. I don't know why. Because, like, I don't know. They could have just left her there to die, to be honest. They really could have. But I don't know. I think they took more out on their mom than they did their dad. Because literally, she was shot, like, in her arm, her chest, her face. She was unrecognizable. And they both had their kneecaps shot out as well, because the boys wanted to make it look like the mafia had done it. And then they leave. They go and see Batman. And which I'm assuming was a good time. Because if I am right, that's like one of the best Batmans ever made. Anyway, then they go home. They call the 911. They say, someone killed my parents. Someone killed my parents. I believe it's Lau. Could be wrong. Anyway, one of the two brothers calls the police. And they lived in the same place as the Kardashians at one point. Anywho. So then the cops come. The boys are distraught. Like, they really are. They are sad, super sad. And then they leave. They go stay with someone the next day. I believe it's like a tennis coach they go stay with. Anywho. Then they go back to the scene of the crime. And this is when the police kind of start looking at them, is because they're like, well, we want to go play tennis and we need our tennis rackets from the house. And the cops are like, oh no, it's still kind of really bloody in there and pretty bad. Where are your tennis rackets located? And they're like, in the den. Now remember, the den is where mom and dad were brutally murdered. So the cops are like, that's weird. So, yeah, super weird. Now, mind you, that these boys Lau was off. He was going to college. Erik was going to go to college. He was going to go play. They both were really good at tennis. They played at the club and everything. And so they go, right? And they get it, which is weird. They drive around mom and dad's cars all over Los Angeles. They go and purchase a vehicle because they're sad. They went to the Caribbean. They went to London. New restaurants openings, new tennis coaches, like literally everything. They were so saddened that they went and got some Rolexes and a new home. You know, just shit. They just went and did some stuff. Well, this whole time, I guess they say that they were just stricken with grief and that like they're all sad and what they've done is haunting them or whatever have you. So Erik goes to the counselor. I believe it's Erik. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But I believe it's Erik. Anywho, they go to him. They go to their counselor and like he goes to the counselor and the counselor is like, what can I help you with? And it is Erik. I'm almost like 100% sure. Anyway, he says, me and Lau are the ones who done did it. We killed our parents. And he's like, we'll talk about this. And so he's trying to extort money from them. Meanwhile, this shady butthead, I'm trying not to cuss, this shady butthead meanie face, he had a secret mistress. Okay, he has a hoe on the side. Well, this hoe on the side gets broken up with. So that makes her very mad. And so she is like, I'm gonna blackmail you. All this nonsense. Well, meanwhile, Lyle finds out that Erik told him. So Lyle goes there and he's like, I'm gonna mess you up, son. He didn't say that, but like, I don't know. They say he threatened him because that's what they say broke the confidentiality between the two is the threat of danger for the therapist, the Cheater McCheaterson. So Lyle was arrested on March 8th, 1990. Erik was arrested. Well, he turned himself in 3 days later after returning to Los Angeles from Israel because he was playing some tennis, which is really cool. I'm not saying they're cool. I'm just saying that is really cool. Going to Israel is really cool. Having to go to jail, not so much. So, in August of 90, Judge James K said that the tapes were inadmissible because of the breaking of the doctor patient privilege. Okay. So, also in this was one of the first big cases that were broadcast on TV. It started in 1993. Now, they have defense attorney Lisa Abramson. I might have slaughtered that. Anyway, she's amazing. And she comes up, well, she doesn't come up with, it's really, it's not even her terminology, really. But anyway, I'm not even going to say it because she didn't really come up with it. So we find out in court that the boys were being sexually molested by their father and that the mom knew. That's why I was like, I think that they were mad at her way more than they were mad at him because she knew and she just didn't do anything. I guess she was like a drunkard and stuff. And one night, one of the boys came down after a sexual experience with their father, a rape, and she was like, "What's wrong?" And the boy was like, "You won't ever understand." And she's like, "You think I don't know? You think I'm stupid? Like I don't know what goes on in my house? I know." And so back in the 90s, people literally looked at this and were like, it's just two spoiled little rich boys that killed their parents. And now they're saying that this happened. Now, that is all fine and dandy. Except for if you ever went and watched the tapes of, well, they're not tapes, it's YouTube. But if you've ever watched the court on YouTube and you listen to Lyle talk about what happened, if you end up not believing him, which is fine if you don't, there are still, of course, two different sides. There's the people who believe and the people who don't believe. I'm just on the belief side. Lyle tells in detail about how he would go home from sports practice, whatever, and dad would start massaging him. Dad would be like, "You must massage me in the same way." And then he would tell him to get on his knees and he would assist him in giving his dad oral sex. And then, yeah, and then he would start, like, he would stick things in their bums. And they even go on in court on public TV, okay, to talk about how Lyle says on the stand that he himself took his brother Erik, who is younger than him, to the wood and put a stick in his bum. You don't make that up. Like, you, oh my God, you just don't. Okay, so they had two different juries, and a whole bunch of the sex abuse came out, and a bunch of family members. There's two different trials, complete two different trials. The first one they still did together, but two different juries. They had two different legal teams. They both pled cases. It was hung that they couldn't make a decision because of the sexual abuse. They couldn't. No one really was like, I don't know if that's true or not. I can't know. So they go to court again. Except for this time, when they go back to court, it's in like 96, I think. And it's insane because OJ happens and he gets off. And then these boys go back into court or whatever. And the same judge throws out all the sexual abuse stuff. He says, we can't do that. We can't bring up any of that. Nobody can. It cannot be brought up until later on in the sentencing phase. So that goes the whole defense. Like, there's like nothing to use at all. You know what I mean? Not the defense. I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm fucking tired. Freaking tired. Shit. Sorry. Anyway. I don't even know. I lost my spot now. Anyway, they were just like, it was a big, huge profile thing. He throws it out. So now the second jury, and it's only one, the brothers are together this time, they get to hear nothing. Like, diddly squat, literally. Like, it comes down to, yeah, we did it. And then they're like, oh, yeah, you did it? And they're like, yep, we did. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, how much money did you spend when your parents died? And they're like $700,000. You mind your business. It ain't none of your business. And so they put him in jail. Well, they're still in jail, but like prison. And on July 2nd of 1996, okay, I'm almost 6 years old, they put these two away for life without the possibility of parole for what they have done. And I don't know. I truly, truly, truly believe that they did it to defend themselves, because what happened, they believed that their parents were going to kill them. I guess right before they died, like a couple days before the murders, there was like a shady fishing trip. Even the guy who did the fishing trip was like, nobody freaking fished. Me and the dude I was with, we fished. Nobody else fished. Super weird. And then there was like a fight. And then I guess Erik's dad told him, he's like, guess what, Erik? You're not going to go live in the dorms. You're going to live at home so that I can still sexually abuse you, because Erik was the weaker of the two brothers. I'm sorry. I don't mean that in a mean way, but he was. And so he tells Lyle, he's like, Lyle, I need your help. It hasn't stopped or whatever. So then Lyle gets mad. He goes and he tells his dad, he's like, what the hell? You said you weren't going to do it anymore to him, blah, blah, blah. And the dad's like, oh, now everybody's going to know. And the whole thing, like, it turned into like this whole thing. And so they were like, yeah, we have to defend ourselves. They did go get the guns under different names. And so, like, it was pre-thought. Okay, it was pre-thought. But they legitly were like, these people might kill us, because now mom and dad, well, mainly dad, were afraid, according to the boys, that the boys were going to tell the family secret. The family secret then would come out. And so they cannot have that. They can have like a sad, oh, our kids died. Oh, mourn us, saddened. Maybe even just off one of the boys. But that's just like, they weren't going to let that happen. And he was very mad to find out that this was still happening to his little brother and everything else. So I don't know. And there was a law passed, which they're going to hopefully be able to go back into court again and sometime in 2021, hopefully, and plead their case again. Only, and the only part about this that I think, and they agree, okay, is yes, they did it. They really did. And no one's denying that. No one's saying that they didn't. They didn't say that they didn't. But life without the possibility of parole is kind of extreme, especially since they heard what happened to the boys and like why the boys did it, and that it wasn't just because, and like these boys did not need to kill them, okay, for money. Like everybody says, they didn't need to. They already had money. And like they were getting money. They had allowances. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't kill the golden goose if that was the case. They wanted it to stop. And when Erik found out that he wasn't going to be able to go and live, then he got he got mad, scared. Lyle got mad and scared. And everybody says that Jose was just not a very nice guy. When people found out that he was murdered, before they found out it was the boys, because there was a good deal of time, about like 6 months or something like that, nobody was shocked. And like when the cops were like, oh, well, who hated him? It was more like, well, who didn't? Like they really believed it might have been the mafia. And even Kitty, they were like, no, well, like she's just a drunkard. No one really, we don't know why anybody would want to kill her, except for she was there with him. But I think she was shot more and taken out more, because I think the boys held more on her for being their mom and not doing anything, you know? I don't know. Who knows? But like they're getting married still. Like, I don't know. They do really good stuff in the prisons. One of them is like in a hospice and takes care of lifers. That's his job. And like he gets to watch people die in prison, which eventually will be his own fate. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully they both, since they are married and like everything else. I truly hope that one day the Menendezes can get out and have a chance. You know what I mean? Just a simple chance. I don't know. I hope for them and I pray for them because it's just too sad. I don't think that you should be sentenced to life when you kill your abuser, and that's what their dad was. And their mom was just as guilty in my eyes. If you know that's happening, you don't just make a martini and close your and like look the other way, you know what I mean? I don't know. So hopefully, I say one day, hopefully, y'all walk free. Free the Menendez brothers is what I say. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, because I think so. But I have a couple show reviews we're going to do coming up, so that's going to be fun. And yeah, I got to get back to work. Lame. But you guys really tell me what you guys think about the Menendezes. And what you guys think should happen, if they should stay in jail forever or if we should let them have a chance. Because I just want to remind you that when these boys went to prison, okay, when they went to prison, it was a very, 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 very long time ago, and they were children. They were babies. Well, not really. They were kind of babies. Erik was a baby. He was just like a small infant child at the time of the crime. I believe he was like, what did I tell you guys, like 19? Something like that? Or did I even tell you? I can't remember. I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I think it really happened. I believe them. I believe them. I believe them. Yeah. So you can either comment on the picture on Instagram at It Is What It Is Pod 208 or on Twitter at It Is What It Is 208 or on Facebook at It Is What It Is, a true crime podcast. Or if you're on YouTube, right below there's a comment section. You can go comment there. And then subscribe if you're not. On all platforms. Yeah, do that. That's good. Did the year roundup. Y'all are amazing. This has been a good year for us. I got some logos made from a very nice lady here, chick here. She's not a lady, she's a younger chick. And I'm spacing the name right now. E Creations, I think. Look on my Instagram. Anyway, they're really bitching. I'm going to make them into car decals. But yeah, you can always donate to the pod if you want. You don't need to, but you can. And let's have a good end of the year. Happy holidays, guys. It's coming. I get a puppy this weekend. So we'll see. And another big thing happened in my family, but I can't tell you guys yet. And no, I'm not having a baby. So, yeah. Very fun things. Fun things are ahead. Go watch my guinea pig video. He's cute. His name is Charlie. And that is what I will leave you guys with. Have a good day.